In today's video, I'm going to plan out my dinner menu for the entire month of February. If that sounds interesting to you, please make sure you're subscribed and I'll be right back. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Kristen. I post functional planning videos on my channel 3 times a week, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I usually do a monthly menu video every month, and this week I am going to show you all of the dishes that I have planned out for the month of February. I do have my entire menu mapped out in Google Calendar, and it repeats every 6 weeks. So in my family, we figured out all of the meals that we all like and that we don't mind having often, and we have those on a rotating basis every 6 weeks. There are also meals that we have every week. So every Tuesday we have tacos, every Wednesday we do breakfast for dinner, every Friday is fend for yourself, and every Saturday is pizza night. So that leaves us 3 days a week where we need to come up with something different. And so we have a list of meals, and I have rotated them so that we can go for 6 weeks without repeating any of those kinds of recipes. The other ones we don't mind repeating every week. And so I'm going to fill that out for the month of February. I'm just using this Cambridge monthly wall planner, and I'm going to rip it off of the coil here and trim it so it's nice and neat. I'm going to use magnets to put this on the refrigerator so that my family can see it easily. I use Google Calendar when I need to reference the menu, but this is for my family to be able to see. So let's go through, and I'm going to mark out first. I'm going to mark, there's a week that we will not be home, we will be traveling, and so I'm going to mark that on here so that I don't need to write the meals in for those days. And then I'm also going to write the days where we have our repeating meals. I am left-handed, so I typically start from the right and go left. I didn't in the last video, and it was smearing all over. That's just one of the fun things you have to deal with when you're left-handed. So I'm going to do this, and I'm just going to fill in on the days of the week that we So typically what I will do is I will draw the line down, but what I also need to do, I just want to visually have the week that we're not going to be home. I want to have that separate. So what I'm going to do is our trip starts on the 11th, and so I'm just going to write Boston, and then we come home on the 15th, and we will not be home for dinner that night. So I'm going to basically just draw, I'm gonna write here, let me write Boston here as well, and then I will draw the arrow over there. And then this night is probably gonna just be something easy because I'm gonna have to go to the grocery store that day, and basically we're not gonna have any fresh groceries in the house, and so this will be something simple. Okay, so now let's take this and draw an arrow down. And I do have a longer All right. Oh, I didn't do my arrow right here. Which technically these days aren't in February, but since I plan it by the week, that's fine. Okay, now the other thing I need to pay attention to is that my Google Calendar is a Monday start, and so I actually need to make sure I'm looking at the correct day. So I'm gonna do all the Thursdays at once. I think that will help me, but we'll see. So this day is honey chipotle chicken tacos. That is a recipe that I got from the New York Times cooking app, and so that is behind a paywall. It's basically just some chicken in an Instant Pot with some like honey and some chipotles in adobo, and then you shred it up. I put beans in there. No, I think the recipe called for black beans, but we like it with pinto beans. And then you make some pickled red onions with just some like thin sliced red onions and some vinegar, and just kind of quick pickle them by boiling the vinegar and pouring it over the onions. And then you just eat it on tortillas with a little bit of like cilantro and stuff like that. It's really good. And so that's what that is. And then on the 9th, we will have taco rice. And this is a recipe from Budget Bites. And this night is the night that I was thinking we need to have something easy. And it looks like the scheduled dinner for that night is smoked sausage hash, and that's very much easy. So I will go ahead and just say we will have that. For smoked sausage hash, I just use a bag of frozen cubed sweet potatoes, and I kind of like cook them in the microwave a little bit just to get them not frozen, and then I dice up some onion and some red bell pepper and throw all that in a pan together with some diced up or some sliced up smoked sausage, and it's basically just a hash. And then I make some fried eggs to eat with it. Super easy, everybody loves it. Season it, of course. I use a ton of garlic and smoked paprika and stuff. It's not really a recipe, it's just something I've been making for years and years. This day is skillet queso. And that's just something I make with taco meat. You can use chorizo sausage. I'll probably just make extra taco meat on Tuesday and save it for Thursday. And then just cook it in a cast iron skillet with a bunch of like diced peppers and onions, and then pour in a jar of salsa, heat it through, and top it with a ton of green onions and cilantro and diced tomato and diced avocado, and then eat it with some chips. And it's good, and everybody loves it. And then this day is smoked sausage and mac and cheese. So I'm just gonna put smoked sausage mac. We really like smoked sausage in this house. Okay, so that was Thursday. Monday is, this is salsa chicken. Salsa chicken is just chicken in either the crock pot or the Instant Pot. It's just chicken, a pack of taco seasoning, and a jar of salsa. And then you shred it up and you eat it either as burrito bowls over rice, or you can eat it in tacos, however you want it. It's really good and really easy and simple. And you can start with frozen chicken, which is also great. And we don't need a meal for that day because we will be traveling. And then the 20th, we are having bacon and pea pasta. Sometimes I also refer to this as pantry pasta. I just cook up some bacon in my Dutch oven, take it out, and then use the bacon fat to cook up some onions, and I kind of make like a little cream sauce out of it, deglaze the pan with white wine, and then add pasta into it, add a little bit of heavy cream and parm, and then add some peas in at the end. It's super good. It's not really a recipe, it's just something I've always done, just like the smoked sausage hash. And then curried ground beef, and that is a budget bites recipe. It's just ground beef with like curry seasoning, and then you cook diced potatoes in it and then add some peas, and my son eats it over rice and with naan bread, and he loves it. It's one of his favorite meals. Let's see, on the 5th, we're just gonna have some hamburgers, and that's super simple. I actually didn't leave myself enough room there. I usually just buy the sleeve of frozen hamburger patties and then cook them in the air fryer. I have a big air fryer, so I can fit 4 hamburger patties in at once, and it's super simple, easy to clean up, and really, really fast and easy. The 19th, we're just having spaghetti. That's also a very simple meal. I'm sure everybody knows how to cook spaghetti. We don't do anything special. I do like to use the Prego sauce. Sometimes I use simply ragu. Basically, any sauce that doesn't have any added sugar. That's what we like to use. And the 26th is just air fryer chicken breast. I'm just gonna put chicken breast. And so if I'm not feeling very inspired, I'll just take the chicken breast, season it. I slice it in half so it's thinner, season it up really good, and cook it in the air fryer, and then serve it with just like rice and some kind of frozen vegetables. But this is also a good opportunity if I want to try a new recipe to do it on that night, either a chicken recipe or anything else. Also new recipes, I tend to do fend for yourself night or breakfast for dinner. We usually don't skip taco night, and we usually don't skip pizza night, but sometimes we might feel inspired to try something new on one of these days. Our menu is super functional like that because something like breakfast for dinner or fend for yourself, those are things that we always have on hand. I always have eggs on hand, and like sausage and bacon and stuff like that, pancake mix, frozen waffles. That's always like, there's always something that I can make breakfast for dinner. Typically we end up having breakfast tacos. I just scramble up eggs with some onions and peppers and some sausage, and if we have any leftover beans from taco night, and then we just use tortillas and make breakfast tacos. And so that is not something I really have to plan for. It's always stuff we have in the house. I buy eggs every week. Anytime we're running low on tortillas, I buy those. It's not something I have to make sure we have the ingredients for, because we always do. Fend for yourself is always some kind of frozen thing for my son, and then leftovers for me. He doesn't really like leftovers, and so I tend to eat the leftovers on Friday, and then he'll make himself like corn dogs or chicken nuggets or something. He loves to use the air fryer, and he also really loves ramen, and so he'll make ramen. But those are also things that we always have in the house, and so it's easy to skip that if we want to do something else. If we want to go out, or if we want to try a new recipe or something, we're not wasting the food that I purchased, because it's just stuff that keeps. And so it's just, that's why I really love this way of menu planning. It's just, it makes it to where, yes, I have it planned for the month, but if things change, it's not anything that can't be adapted very easily. So say I skip one of the nights that we have a recipe planned, and I purchased food specifically for those evenings. Say something comes up and we end up going out on a Thursday. Well, that food is gonna be fine to cook the next day. And so it might seem rigid to have your menu planned for a month, but as long as you keep in mind that it doesn't actually have to happen on that night, then it's not that rigid when you think about it. This way of menu planning has just helped me get that one thing out of my head. I don't have to sit down every single week and think, what should I make for dinner? It's already been planned out, and all I have to do is look at the list and look at the grocery list that I already made for myself and saved a copy of for the week. That I just have to print that grocery list out and then add to it anything we're running out of as the week goes on. And then when I go to the store, it's already ready. It's so effortless. I mean, it's not effortless to set it up, but once it's set up, it's effortless. And I'm really enjoying doing this. So if you want to give that a try, let me know. I'm going to link my menu planning playlist up here, and then you can kind of get an idea of how I came to using this system. It's only been maybe 5 or 6 months that I've been doing it. It's evolved every month a little at a time, and but I'm really liking how it's working out. So if you give it a try, let me know, and let me know how it works out for you. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you really liked it, please consider subscribing. Like I said in the beginning of the video, I post functional planning videos every week, 3 times a week on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And I'd love to see you here next time. All right, see you then. Bye.